Today we're looking at 5 different beginner barber haircuts and we're gonna review them, give them some advice, give them some pointers, and then we're gonna rank them at the very end to see who is the best beginner barber of the week. So make sure that you stay until the end to see who we will crown as the BBB. Hi, I'm BRIANNOIR and welcome to part 1 of analyzing my subscribers' haircuts. I know you guys have been waiting for me to do this for a while and it is finally here. If you don't know what this is a popular TikTok series of mine that I started a while ago where I take beginner barbers' haircuts, I give them some advice, analyze it, and hopefully help them become a better barber. But now since we're on YouTube, I can go deep. I mean really in depth with the haircut review and try to help you guys out as much as possible. If you'd like to submit your haircut for review, leave a like, tell me in the comments why you want to be a barber or why you are a barber. Hit that subscribe button and send over your haircut photos in my Instagram DMs. So the very first haircut that I'm going to review on his channel was done by @Borna Barber. He's 15, he's got 4 months of experience, and he's from Croatia. So let's take a look at his cut. You know, this is a decent cut for someone at his experience level. I can tell that he's definitely got a rougher hair texture to fade. Certain people have easier hair texture to fade. It just blends really well, it blends really smooth. And I can just tell his grain is a bit harder to fade for sure. So it looks like he does have a foil shaver because the parts that are bald are extremely bald, as you can see here and back here. But underneath that, you can see that he's missed some stubble and some neck hair. You gotta make sure that if you're doing a skin fade like this, everything underneath your guideline is skin, completely skin. You don't wanna miss hairs around the neck especially. These are the details that the client notices and will prevent them from coming back to you. You're not gonna wanna come back if they got friggin' neck hair growing out longer than the rest of their hair, you know? So this fade is okay, it's decent. You're a beginner, so I'm gonna cut you some slack. I can see that there's a guideline right here that could have been blended out way better. And there's not much of a transition in the middle of this blend. So in this section right here, it's all even. There's not much of a contrast. And part of the reason why that is because you did your bald guideline too low. If you had brought up your bald guideline just a bit higher, I would have maybe brought up your bald guideline to about here. The blend here is a little bit too stretched and you're not getting the transition that you want. The fact that you did a beard, that's really good. The beard fade's actually not too bad at all. The back of the beard line is not bad. You can see that there's loose hairs here that you definitely could clean up. And around the neck too, you missed some hairs at the very bottom of his neck. The way you shaped the beard, I can see that there's kind of a ridge here that you left instead of it being a straight, clean line. And with the actual lineup of the beard, it's not bad. This part isn't bad right here, but then you left this hump right here, which doesn't look good. It looks like you just missed it and you didn't take your liner up all the way to a sideburn. There's not much of a lineup here either. I think this haircut would have benefited from having vertical bars and a proper C-cup. But yeah, like the blend isn't all that great. You gotta make sure that you use consistent guidelines and you stay within those guidelines when you're fading. I like the angle of this photo. The angle of this photo is pretty good. I would rate this haircut 5 out of 10 and you'll be placed 4th in the rankings so far. So here we got the second haircut of the day and it's done by @Andrei27248. He's 15, he's got 2 months of experience and he's from Romania. So this is a perfect example of how lighting can really affect your cut because the lighting here is directly facing the client's head and you can just tell, and it makes the fade pop that much more. Even though, and this is one of the main problems I have with this, even though that it's not to skin, you can tell that he's trying to do a bald fade, but it doesn't look like he has trimmers, or maybe he does have trimmers, but he doesn't have a foil shaver to really get it down to skin. Because when you zoom in, you can see that there's so much stubble left over. If you had used your foil shaver under this, this would have really taken this fade to the next level. But the fade itself is decent. When you zoom out like this, you can really see the inconsistencies. So I'm gonna circle some of the dark spots I see. So there's a dark spot right there, here. This whole section is pretty dark within like certain areas of this blend. Here, there's a little bit of a dark spot. Most people won't see this. I only see it because I've definitely trained my eye to see these things. But if you wanted to take your fades to the next level, these are the details that you gotta start paying attention to. The top, it looks like you didn't even cut the top. It looks like this is how he walked in, which is okay. But if you're gonna take a haircut photo, you wanna like add some product and style it properly. That way it helps make the haircut stand out. The C-cup here, yeah, there's not much of a C-cup. It doesn't look like you have a sharp enough liner to make a sharp line. What can help achieve a sharp line in your lineups is make sure you comb down the hairs before lining. And also these hairs right here, you got to clip these up. This is part of the top of the head, and it's kind of overhanging the side. And because it's overhanging, you're unable to see the vertical bar and C-cup area where you could be lining up and making it look sharp. But yeah, this is a decent fade, honestly. It's not bad, especially for only being 2 months in. This is a good cut. I'm sure he was happy with it. I love the lighting. I like the angle. This is a really good fade for your experience level. I would say that this cut as a whole is a 5.5 out of 10. This puts you in 3rd place in the rankings so far. All right, you guys, things are heating up now. This fade is pretty clean, bro. This is the 3rd cut. It's by @0_cuts. He's 16, he's got 6 months of experience, and he's from Germany. This is a great blend. This is a good photo. It's really smooth. I would have maybe zoomed in the photo so that you can see more of the details of the blend, but there's not much inconsistencies here. This is a fairly consistent fade. The cat scratches, they don't exactly match. I think the bottom line of that could be sharper. The lineup, fairly sharp. This is the sharpest one we've seen so far, but you can see it's not a very smooth. You want it to be a nice smooth curve. I have 2 main issues with this fade. As good as it is, the main issue is this really harsh bulk line that you left in the parietal ridge area. Now I understand keeping some bulk there for some shape. All you had to do for this was use some thinning shears and use it thinning shear over comb method to lighten up that area, bro. And like, this would have taken this haircut to the next level. Would have been a perfect fade. I love how bald the skin part is. There's no stubble. There's no loose hairs around your client before taking a photo. The other issue I have with this is the top. It doesn't look like you cut it, and if you did, there's definitely uneven here. It's not styled very well if it was styled, but it doesn't look like you did. I can just tell that there's a lot of like weird like frizziness going on. If you're gonna take a photo of your haircut, you want it to look like a finished product. So style that shit up, make it look good. This is what you're using to market yourself, you know? So you want it to look proper. Overall, this is a pretty good cut. This is the best we've seen so far out of the haircuts we've looked at. I would give this one a 7 out of 10. And he's only in 2nd place. So keep watching. There's gonna be a better one coming up. So the 4th cut of the day is done by Thompson 6948. He's 14 years old. He's got 4 months of experience, and he's from Denmark. So right off the bat, the thing that stands out to me the most about this is the styling. I love the style on top. I love all the texture. It looks pretty cool. He's got really nice hair texture. It's really spiky. I like how you drop the fade in the back instead of taking the fade up too high and making the back of his head look too flat. But it could have been done much smoother. You can see with spiky hair like this especially, you can see there's like ridges where the hair is uneven. I like how there's no loose hairs anywhere. You brush them off, clean them up really well. There's nothing on the cape, so that's a good sign. But my problem with this fade is it is a very inconsistent blend. One, it looks like it's 2 different haircuts because here it's definitely more compressed fade, and then here it really widens up. You want your blend to be consistent all the way through when you're fading. There's a really harsh guideline right here that you should blend out. And overall, just this fade is not a great fade. I think that you could have done much better, but you've only been cutting hair for 4 months, so you're still very much a beginner. And you did push back his lineup a bit. I can tell when you zoom in here, you can see the growth, a little bit of that growth right there. You probably could have made the curve not as sharp and maybe lined it up closer to like this, as opposed to taking the curve in too deep. Overall, you're a beginner barber. You're brand new to this. I can definitely see that you have potential. Just make sure that your fade is consistent all the way through. I would give this haircut a 4.5 out of 10, which puts him in 5th place. So our last cut of the day and our #1 ranked cut for this week is done by a beginner barber. His name is I'm Alex1, and he's 18 years old. He's from Romania, and he's been barbering for about 8 months. So this right here is the winner, guys. This is definitely, to me, the best fade so far that I've seen, at least within these set of photos. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but it is pretty consistent. I love the styling. It's definitely more of an artistic type of styling. I don't think anyone would really walk around with their hair looking like this, but it is combed very neatly. I like how he dropped the fade in the back. to avoid any cowlicks or any hair sticking up. I like this little piece that he did at the front where the hair is kind of pointy. That's pretty cool. It's a nice artistic style, and I can tell that you put effort into your styling. The C-cup is lined up pretty sharp. It doesn't look like you pushed him back at all. The angle of the photo is really good and the lighting is good. This is just overall a good photo. But the biggest issue with this blend is right here, this ridge right here. Similar to our second place haircut, it is a very easy fix, but you left a very harsh line around the parietal ridge area. All it takes is thinning shear over comb and attack that line, and it would have been blended out. It would look really smooth, and this would have been a perfect blend. There's a little bit of a line here at the back. It's very faint. No one else is really gonna see that, but it is there. Overall, this is a really great cut. I really do like it. I like the styling. I like the lighting, the photo, the fade is decent. This deserves to be the #1 spot this week to be crowned the best beginner barber haircut. BBB, triple B, big booty. So congratulations to you, Alex. You're the first ever winner of this series. You did an awesome job. Everyone did. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the format. This is very new to me. I'm trying to experiment with different formats and stuff. And again, if you'd like to submit your photo to be in this series, leave a like, drop a comment below telling me why you chose to be a barber, hit the subscribe button, and send over your haircuts to my Instagram DMs. Thanks for watching.